Hey everyone, welcome to The Thoughtful Entrepreneur. I am your host, Jen Amos. And as always, I get to interview another incredible entrepreneur, small business owner in our community. Let me go ahead and introduce you all to Rebecca Rausch, who is the owner and chef lizard at Neon Lizard Creative Marketing and Design. Her website is neonlizardcreative.com. So Rebecca is a veteran graphic designer since the age of 12 who studied the leaders and learned how to market as well. She began her own company in 1998 and has pivoted with the times. Now she runs a six-figure marketing and design firm serving companies worldwide. Her business model is unique and includes artists from all over the world who excel in their specialties. Rebecca, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm really glad to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. I really already enjoyed our conversation offline, and I think I want to start because I want to start with this, even though this was probably a note I was going to bring up later. But I really like how it seems to me this generation of marketers is really about adding the empathy into their marketing and how they serve their clients. And so you have a unique way of serving your clients, Rebecca, and you exclusively, I'd like to say, work with heart-centered, service-focused type of businesses. So let's talk a little bit about that. You can start by talking about your business and the type of clients that you like to work with.
Okay. Well, Neon Lizard Creative is a comprehensive marketing and design firm, which means that we're kind of a one-stop shop. A lot of times, entrepreneurs and marketers have 14 or 15 different vendors to deal with their social media and their print and this, that, and the other, and it frustrates them. So because of the experience that I have and the experience of my guys, we are able to pretty much do just about anything. We're, like I said, all over the world. I have designers in Lithuania, Ukraine, Brazil, Texas, Hawaii, Minnesota. We're all over the place. And this remote model works really well. We have a CRM system where we are able to connect daily. The clients are able to start and stop their own jobs, make comments. We put all our proofing through there. It works out beautifully to be completely remote. So COVID wasn't that big of a change for us in that respect. Just having to get out of our offices was probably the worst of it. But I really miss my office. So we serve business owners. We really like solo entrepreneurs and we really like solo marketers because those are the people that they really would love to have a graphic design staff and a marketing staff, but they just can't afford to do it. Mm-hmm. Whereas we can come in, you have this massive experienced quality team, and we can do it for less than the cost of one person. And wow. It's amazing. So we can solve a lot of pain points that they have in order to take things off their plate so they can focus on what they do best so they can make more money.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. And I think it's very impressive considering how you are a six-figure marketing and design firm. Typically, and maybe you can give me some insight on this, but I think, often we're told that if you're going to try to become a successful business, you need to work with, bigger companies, let's just say. And it sounds like you have found this niche with working with solo entrepreneurs and solo marketers. And so what's your secret? Like how we're able that niche market and be able to grow a successful business out of that?
Well, surprisingly enough, there's a lot of larger businesses that are solo entrepreneurs or family owned. Mm-hmm. And there's also marketers that are part of larger companies. We have one company that is worldwide, and we just did their marketing plan for this past week. And there was one lady that we dealt with. And so as a result, we were her right-hand man. We did everything for her. And she was able to go in, like I said, start and stop jobs and control everything and be able to show her boss where things were. And it worked out really well. So mm-hmm. we can work with any size company. I work with startups all the way through. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. And obviously you're very passionate. And I was just so much that we really took some time to create our setup here so we can have a very, engaging and just awesome conversation today. So I actually also love that you call yourself the Chief Lizard at Neon Lizard Creative Marketing and Design. Where did your company name come from? What was it inspired from?
Number one question I get. Well, when I first decided to go out on my own, I knew that I could do a lot of different kinds of design. A lot of designers have a design niche that they serve. Mm-hmm. And I don't. I can do a sciencey one thing and a grungy the next. It doesn't matter to me. I really love just embodying what it is that we're looking for that particular client. So I got to thinking of it kind of like a chameleon.
Mm.
I thought, you know what, chameleons are really cool, but it's too hard to say.
Yeah, yeah.
So my girlfriend and I were sitting around drinking wine one night, and neon lizard came out, and we said, "Yep, that's it." And it is so memorable, and I've had it for all this time. It's great. I even had a guy I knew 20 years ago look me up from Phoenix. I'm in Minnesota now, and he found me here from Phoenix because he remembered the name when I started the
Wow.
company.
Oh, that's incredible. And you're right. I mean, chameleon is a cool word, but it also, one, it's hard to say, I think off the bat, and then two, it's hard to spell. And it's a long word to spell. So lizard, lizard is short, and you're just like, wait, lizard, like neon lizard. I love it. It's very, very catchy, and I think it gets people to kind of take a second look, and I think that's a great way to, grab people's attention. And just so great to hear that you've had this name for such a long time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Had the logo for a long time too. I'm a big believer in trying to design logos that have little longevity. So
Mm.
I've not had to change it. It's been great. So
Yeah, no, I love that. So focusing on like creating logos that can last for a long time. I want to go back a little bit, Rebecca, because you have been a graphic designer since 12. So how did that even begin? Like, how did you come across graphic design, and how did it evolve into a passion and what you're doing today?
well, there was a TV show back in the day, um, called Bewitched, and
Mm,
the husband on that TV show was a graphic designer, a commercial artist at the time was what they called it. And I fell in love with what he was doing, and I thought I'm going to do book cover designs, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And I ended up being the kid that helped with posters at school, and just I was totally obsessed with it. And ended up graduating at 16 and going to college at 16, graduating at 20,
wow.
and first creative director job by 23. And then I went to sign shops and print shops and agencies and corporate, and I just wanted to try everything to make sure I really understood the entire gamut of what is needed. And I've been just very, very fortunate to have worked with, Capital One, PetSmart. I've worked with huge companies and little tiny companies. So
Wow.
the the main goal is to make sure I understand that client and make sure that what they need is what they get. So if you
Yeah.
think you need something, you don't.
I think that's beautiful to have discovered at a very young age, to know what you want. I think some adults are still like myself, are still like figuring out what to do with our lives. What do we do when I grew up? But it's like you knew, and not only did you know, you wanted to do it really well. And so you studied every aspect of it. And so, to be where you are, to be the chief lizard that you are, and being able to adapt, and more importantly, like focus on the client's needs, I think is amazing. And also, Rebecca, I mean, you've been in business for a long time. I think, what is this, like 22 years now at the time of this recording? You have to tell me, what's your secret? Like, how are you able to sustain a business for so long?
Well, I mean, for the longest time, I was just a freelancer. It was just me. And sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. You can talk again if you want to like cut that
Okay,
out. Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah. So the question,
Great.
so just to help you kind of get in the mindset. So what's your secret? How are you able to have been in business for so long?
Well, I started out as a freelancer, and I was a freelancer most of that time. Well, after when I started it, and everything went really well. I lucked into getting connected with Capital One Corporate and PetSmart Corporate. And so my first year out, I was a six figure. It was just
Mm,
amazing. And that fell down a little bit. I ended up homeschooling my kids for a few years and things of that nature. And then in 2013, I started back again once we moved up here to Minnesota. And I got involved in a BNI, and ended up getting busy enough that I hired my Lithuanian artist, Thomas, who's a god of design. He's fantastic. And then in the past year, we tripled in size.
wow.
So we ended up with, now we have 9 artists, and our project manager is also an artist, and we are just rocking it. We're having a great time, and
Uh,
our big goal is to make our clients giddy, more than just happy. They need to be giddy. They need to be so excited. They're telling everybody about what we've done for them,
yeah.
and we've developed that heart principle I was talking about, and it's just an amazing tool to help people get where they need to be.
Hmm. I'm glad that you brought up the heart principle because that was actually going to be my next question. So this works
So
out.
there.
So,
Yeah.
obviously there you must have a unique offer or a unique way of approaching your business to have been in business for so long. So tell our listeners a little bit more about the heart principle and what it stands for. Because offline we're talking about how it's an acronym, and hopefully this
Mhm.
is something that our listeners can incorporate in their own marketing.
Sure. And they're welcome to call me and talk about it too if they want more information.
Hmm.
Um, but since I've been doing this for so long, I've kind of got a little bit of chops in the design department, and I got a little bit of chops in the marketing department. I started, just really getting obsessed with marketing and how do I make that work. So I am one that has a little hobby farm, and I have 5.5 acres, and I get out there and I mow. And when I mow, I listen to audible books, marketing audible books. And while I've been out there, I keep noticing that there's these really beautiful little golden nuggets in every marketing book I read. But usually you have to read the whole book to get 2 or 3 nuggets.
Hmm.
And I noticed that though I had all these nuggets piled up and all these notes and pages and notebooks, I did not know how to put them together in order to make a really effective marketing plan. And so I had a speaking engagement coming up, and it happened to be on Valentine's Day. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to look at the word heart. I wonder if I could work that out. Because
Wow.
the methods that we've been doing, I just had never put a name to it. And so
Hmm.
we started breaking that down. Like the H stands um, for all sorts of good stuff, like hear them, hear your clients. How can you be really intentional about what they have to say? Um, Help them first, make that more important than whether or not you make a dollar. So it's more important to be helpful and
Mm.
honor them. I just this past month, one of our clients was a nursing home, and they were just getting ready to do their grand opening in the middle of COVID and all this other kind of stuff.
Mm.
But in a conversation we had way back when, my client was talking about how the dementia patients don't know that a doll is not a real baby. And
Mm.
so I had a custom baby made for them that looks as real as you can believe. I mean, it has hair, it's so realistic. And so for their grand opening, that was our gift to them, is to
Hmm.
honor them with that, because I know how it would affect her clients. So honoring any way you can. The E stands for emotion, like what is your client experience? Do you have empathy for that? You've got to
Mm.
bring energy to the table and excitement about their product. You've got to grab the emotion and the pain points of the client on the end. The end client's the one that really matters. We can like it all day long, but if our client's client doesn't like it, then
Mm.
doesn't respond to it, then it's useless. The other thing is efficiency, making sure that the way you're designing, the way you're marketing, everything is efficient, and you're not having to double do things and dip back into things and try to get things. If you know you're going to do this, then you back it up and go, okay, well, we're going to do this, this, and this. Well, let's do this one first, and then I can just reduce the size of it and
Hmm.
in multiple places. So it saves the client money. I call that the reuse. So we're leading into the art part. Um, Making sure you have really great design, really great color, because color psychology is huge. Um,
Mm.
and making sure that you align it with your core brand message. We start everything with the message of knowing their why, um, what they're trying to accomplish. It's a process that we use that works beautifully to come up with. It's not a mission statement. It's not an elevator speech. It's it takes the synopsis of your why,
Hmm.
and it's just beautiful when it works beautifully.
Hmm.
So it aligns with your CPM, and you take bold action with your art. You don't do like everybody else is doing, because if you do, you're just advertising in the industry. So we got to
Mm.
find out what it is that you can do differently. What's your differentiator? How do we design that in a way to separate you from other people? I've got some samples here I was going to show you. We worked with a chemical company, and they're like, you can make water treatment sexy. And we're like, why, yes, we can. Voila.
Wow. Love
So
it.
little things like that, it's a lot of fun to take them down that road and show them all the excitement that the art can bring to it. The R would probably be relationship building, and
Hmm.
you do that through the helping, being super responsive, building that recognition, that brand recognition, so people see you on the streets and they know exactly who you are, like Coke or Pepsi, and repurposing that art, just like I was talking about earlier, thinking ahead and repurposing it. A gentleman came to me, he wanted a Facebook banner, and I knew he was going to be doing a trade show banner. It's the same
Mm.
proportions. So I did the trade show banner, and reduced it down for the Facebook banner, and he paid for one thing, but he got 2 items. And we
Wow.
actually ended up using it as his website too, I believe.
Hmm.
So if you do that, you can save a lot of money. But a lot of designers won't tell you that, and a lot of firms won't tell you that because they lose money. But
Right.
we're more about making sure that you come out and it's happy and feeling like you've gotten a really good deal. And edit that out.
Yeah, catch your breath. That's okay.
My time is too fast. I hope not.
No, you're doing great.
Okay. Okay. And then the T stands for the touch points. And people think, oh, the touch points, that's your social media, your
Mm,
sales, your collateral, and that's your touch points. But there's more than that. There's how you act on the phone. It's your personality. It's
mm,
how do you handle disgruntlement? What do you say on your personal social if they come across that? How are you presenting yourself? The pictures you put on social. I was looking around for a church to go to, and I that came across this one, and it's the pastor was sitting there with no shirt on with a little girl in his lap, and I was like, that's probably not your best idea, buddy.
oh my
He
goodness.
just wasn't. That was his personal account, and I came across it, and I wouldn't go to that church because I felt like he was a perv.
Right,
He
right.
may not have been. He may not have been, but it might be the nicest guy ever. But it just was a bad example of his touch point.
Hmm.
And then how you speak of your competitors, how you help and support others, just who you are as a person, and making sure that every time you interact with another human being, you make it a positive experience for them. So
Hmm.
you got to think, would I want to do business with me?
Hmm.
Somebody else.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you so much for really breaking down what the heart principle is. I know we talked a little bit earlier about, for you, it's important to create a logo that lasts, that's almost timeless. So I'm curious to know, other than your own logo, what's the oldest logo that you still have out there, for, or
Oh
design?
wow,
Yeah. How
question.
old is it at this point? If you are, if you're tracking that.
I am not tracking that. But I think one of the ones that sticks with me the most is there was a gentleman that had a little handyman business, and
Hmm.
he ended up getting the logo tattooed onto his body. So I
Wow.
think maybe that qualifies.
Yeah,
If
no,
not,
absolutely.
well, one of the oldest, I think. Back in Tennessee, I did a city community thing. I won a contest for a Springfest, and I
Hmm.
think they'll use my art, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Just a little thing, and they still use it each year. It's just kind of part of the thing. It just gets changed a little bit. So
Yeah.
that's
Have you had a I don't know, let's say a client, a positive client reaction where you're just like, wow, this is why I do what I do.
every day. I make one of my
Love
things
it.
I do on LinkedIn is I put my giddy client of the day. Just today, I took a picture of a client that sent me a note going, I just love all the designs. Number 14 is my favorite. And I want to put it out there because that's another thing we do is that a lot of design firms, give you 3 things and they're
Hmm.
usually variations of the same thing. And we don't do that. We give you 25 things maybe or 10 things. You get a
Mm.
lot of things and you get a lot of variation because I have my artists compete. And then the winning artist, whoever logo is chosen, gets a $25 bonus. So that's just
Wow.
a little thing we do to up the game to make sure that everybody's giving their best.
Yeah, absolutely. It keeps it just, it keeps the team competitive as well as, your company competitive overall. And so I think that's a really clever way, to keep the
Oh,
quality
it's
of your
fun rubbing
service.
their nose in it. I like it.
I love it. Rebecca, I've really enjoyed our conversation today. I wanted to just make sure that we covered all of our bases here. Is there anything else that you want our listeners to know about Neon Lizard creative marketing and design?
I would love for them just to go to the website and read the detailed information because it really shows why we're different and how I
Hmm.
wish the whole world worked that way. I was a Southern Baptist girl at birth. I feel guilty for everything, so I make sure that I make sure that everything that we do, we try to do it with the utmost integrity. And if everybody worked that way, I think it would just make the world a better place.
Oh, that's beautifully said. Rebecca, do you feel like you could see yourself doing anything else? Like, obviously, you've been in this space since you were 12, but like, if you could have had another career, like, what would have it been?
Well, I've been playing with this speaking engagement thing, podcast and speaking engagements. I think that's really fun. I'm all the time thinking of something. My
Yeah.
project manager is just like now because I'm such the victim. all the time thinking something crazy, and I'll try it all. There's
Yeah.
not much I'm afraid of. I'll
Yeah,
give it a shot.
absolutely.
Let's go for it.
I mean, you're the chief lizard for a reason. Like you are adaptable. You will try things. And I think that is incredible. And the last question I wanted to wrap up with is maybe some words of wisdom or encouragement for our creatives who aspire to build a six-figure business such as yourself. What is one parting advice you want to share with those creatives?
Give more than they ask, always. And never take it personally. It's not about you, it's about them.
Mm, wow.
So,
Drop the mic. We're done.
well, that's artists are known for being, we're known for being a bit on the snotty side and thinking we're better, but we're not. We are servants, and if we come to every job as a servant, then your creative is going to be 10 times better.
Wow.
So,
Powerful. Well, I think that's a great way to wrap up, Rebecca. Thank you so much just for your energy and your passion. And just, I think I think there's the word I'm trying to look for. It's another word, but did I say enthusiasm right? Yeah. Just thank you for bringing your energy today and your excitement and just like your energy. I know I said that a lot. The editors will clean this up, I promise. I've absolutely appreciated your time today. Thank you so much for joining us.
you're welcome. Thank you so much. It was really a big honor. So appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, to our listeners, once again, this is Rebecca Rausch, who is the owner and chief lizard at Neon Lizard Creative Marketing Design. Remember, you can learn more about her and her company. Like she said, check out her website at neonlizardcreative.com. With that said, we appreciate you all so much for listening, and we'll chat with you in the next episode. Tune in next time.